I don't think it really worked. And I'll take down that other vlog and put this one up saying that, Maggie, thank you for watching my videos. And I read that you were catching up. And Buttercup, thank you for friending me on Facebook. When I first got your request, I was like, who is this? I know who this is. But I've stayed sort of quiet on social media just because I feel sort of negative all the time based on what I have going on with me. I'm excited in one way about the surgery because I'll get to stay at my parents' home, and that's always fun in a way. Like, you know, when you look at the up and down sides of things, like, I have a relationship with my parents like I wouldn't have for a person my age because of my illness, so that's one blessing. If I were out working all the time and able to have a fully functional life, I wouldn't spend the level of time I do with them, and I enjoy it. I was really struggling at the beginning of this week with depression and crying bouts, and that was largely because I'm just so worried about my parents, and they're caring for me. They are working their butts off to take care of me, and I am so grateful for that, but I just feel like I'm cutting into their retirement and ruining their life. Now, I don't have human children, but I have animal children, and I know that you just can't rest unless they're cared for, so I get that to them it's less of an imposition than it feels like I'm being to me, and that they too enjoy the time we're spending together, even though it's an unfortunate way to go about things. But I was having very severe depression. I'm also, because we're worried about the potential of cancer, because my lumps are shaped oddly, I've been in the process of figuring out a living will, which is really scary. I'm not young, but I didn't think at 32 it was something that I always thought maybe if I did it, it would be something that I was doing to, like, plan for the future, not plan for the now. And there have just been several close calls, like during the time I was at my parents' house and the infections got so bad, and they had to decide whether or not to hospitalize me, and it was like they were giving me equal care and could do the same amount of injections and stuff, so I stayed at their house, but like I didn't even get it. I didn't get the full picture at the time, but 4 days after my surgery, my brother came home because they told him that they were that worried. So, I don't know. I've been struggling with depression, and it used to be that, like, I was really scared of death, and I am still. It's scary. Like, it's scary to think I won't get to live, like, the full life that I'd always imagined, or have the children that I'd always imagined, or, you know, things like that. But I'm now entering the phase where I'm more scared for my loved ones and the financial effect that living and dying would have on them, or does have on them. So that's my ramble. Buttercup, I can't wait to hear your next updates. Mrs. Mozart, thank you for leaving me a message. Tomorrow my surgery's at 1:30 in the afternoon. Now I do get to surprise them because there are 2 lumps that are new since I even spoke to them on the telephone last, and one is rather large. So it's gonna be like, surprise on the lumpectomy front. Dear doctor, you get to work a lot harder. This has been very rambly. I'm sure part of it's meds and part of it's exhaustion, and anyway, I didn't like the way I ended my last one, which was just, all that crap. So I'm gonna delete it and just say I wish you guys all the best, and happy weeks and healthier weeks than you normally have, and please think of me tomorrow. The surgery isn't as scary as, say, the other surgery I had or the surgery I'm having after that, but I'm just nervous because I'll be a little more alert for it, and for vanity's sake, like, you know, I'm going to be losing a lot. They're going to be hefty enough lumpectomies that really, there'll come a time when I need reconstructive, which is a bummer to me. I don't know if I had larger breasts, if they'd really be able to save those too, you know, or if it's just they're taking so much regardless. So have wonderful weeks, and not all that crap. Have wonderful weeks, period. And hopefully you guys can keep me updated and entertained and in regards to what you're up to. And I sort of wonder if we shouldn't start a Lyme support group. I asked my doctor if she could start one, and this is just not a good time for her to start one at our clinic. And locally for me, there's one that only meets once a month, and it is not very heavily frequented. So I almost wonder, since we're sort of each other's Lyme support online, if we couldn't come up with like a topic of the week and discuss it, and if it wouldn't maybe help us, and those that don't do videos could type responses. What do people think of that? Because we could talk about living wills, we could talk about depression, we could talk about relationships, we could talk about being lonely. So yeah, I don't know, just tell me what you think. Be well, be happy, take care of yourselves.